All right, guys. So we'll be watching Andrew Santino versus Andrew Schulz by 2lazy2try. Now, I haven't seen this video. This is a follow-up from the previous video that we watched. That's why I'm still probably wearing the same shirt. Anyways, let's just get started.
And then I think that there's like people on another level up, we were saying earlier, that are like seeing these like people talk shit about it, and they're getting concerned that it could like negatively impact them in a way. So they're doing this like, it's the most pussy shit. They're like trying to create a little distance, not too much where they can't call you and say, "Hey, I got a pod, I got a,
Oh, you mean Andrew
I got a
Santino?
special." Yeah, like not too much where it's like, "Oh, I'd like to come on your pod, but I'll have a guy who's gonna shit on you for the whole fucking episode and not give you pushback." It's like, and it's not just him. Like I've seen other people do it, and it's just like, dude, you're gonna go through some cancel shit later. All these guys, they're gonna go through some later, and they had a guy that they could call that would bring them on the biggest platform in the world and let them explain themselves, have their back. Like, you will do it.
All right, so Andrew Schulz has really been going at Andrew Santino recently. Like last Flagrant episode, Schulz was taking some shots at him and Bobby Lee. Then he went on Rogan's podcast after, and he had even more to say about it. Like, you could tell he really wants Rogan to cut off Santino because Schulz thinks he betrayed Rogan by making fun of him and having on Marc Maron and letting him trash Joe without saying anything. Also, out of all the comedians that have done Joe's podcast and make jokes about him now, you know, the ones that Schulz thinks have backstabbed him, Santino's the one who Rogan did the most for. You know, everyone else like Anthony Jeselnik, Stavros Halkias, Marc Maron, Dan Soder, and Bobby Lee, they're not Rogan sphere comedians, and they've only made 1 or 2 appearances on the podcast. I don't think they're ever very close to Rogan. But
And apparently for Andrew Schulz, that isn't allowed, guys. You can't mess with the other Rogan Sphere members because you're in there, bud. You know, what's the connection? Just because he went on a couple of episodes in your podcast, it means that you're off the table to be criticized? Dumb stuff.
Santino, he's been going on his podcast since 2017 and has made 11 appearances. So Rogan's done quite a bit for his career and considers him a good friend. So out of all the comedians that goof on Joe, Santino's probably the one that Joe feels the most disrespected by. But he's trying to look at it like Santino's just busting his balls. You know, it's what comedians do.
And that could be true, right? It makes you more of a coward if you don't speak about things that are actually bad. Right? He's speaking his mind, and I think that's what Joe respects in a certain way, right?
But Schulz is trying to convince him it's more malicious, probably because Santino's also talked shit about Schulz too. He criticized podcasters for getting political and specifically mentioned Flagrant. And then also this past year, Santino has started to goof on Rogan a little bit and had on Marc Maron and let him talk shit. So that's why people are surprised to see Santino on Rogan's podcast last month. Because Schulz is right, it seemed like Santino was trying to distance himself, but then when he had something to promote, he went on Rogan's podcast and acted like they're all good. Even though looking back on it, that podcast did seem kind of awkward, and you could tell there was some tension there. Because also Santino knew Rogan was going to get pissed about the Maron podcast. Like Maron at one...
and that's also like, it makes sense too. Like if your friend, like I have certain friends, and all of my friends, we critique each other at certain points when we do something bad, and yeah, you feel like you got scolded by your friend, and there's some awkward vibes, you know, talking back again, but eventually that goes away. But you have an understanding that this guy here, like, he's actually honest, he's being an honest person, and he's not afraid to not tell me the truth about certain things that I do wrong or they do wrong or on the certain situation, right? We all can make mistakes. And for your friend, like some of your closest friends, to tell you straight up that, hey, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that because of a certain reason, and it makes sense for you, then you'll be like, you know what, I take that in consideration.
At one point said he didn't think he was on Rogan's radar, but Santino's like, something tells me you are. And you could tell him and Bobby kind of wanted to get Maron going, because you can have him on and avoid talking about Rogan. Like Dan Soder did it. He had Maron on his podcast and didn't mention Rogan once. So I think Bobby and Andrew kind of wanted to hear Maron go off, because it seems like they don't really like the whole comedy podcast scene.
Or it could be clip farming. That's something they all, like a lot of people do now. It's just like, it's a good clip, it's more views, right? It also could be seen as that. Like that's now a thing in our world or online, is that you try to get somebody going or crash out, and that will get you some views.
Because it seems like they don't really like the whole comedy podcast scene either, and they like to make fun of it. Like Santino even goofs on Theo Vaughn, who according to Rogan is like off limits to make fun of. So he's walking a fine line here.
By the way, Theo of all people could get Kim Jong-un. He like
Absolutely.
could and
Every
get
time
like a
he
legit
drops like
interview.
his new episode, I'm like, who is it today?
Yeah.
It's either Garbage Man or it's Kim Jong Un.
But that's the joke of Theo Vaughn, right? Like there was a time, and it's still an ongoing thing, that out of nowhere Theo Vaughn brings somebody that's like you wouldn't think that he would talk to. That's the joke or a meme of it, right? And then like for these comedians, right, to be like saying that Theo's off limits? What? Weak sauce.
Kim Jong-un is like, my son really like you, Theo. So
Yeah,
that's why
huge
I'm here.
fan.
Yeah, his son is a massive Theo fan. That's how you hear all these things. Like fucking Trump is like,
Oh, yeah.
my son loves Theo.
Yeah, that Twitter was like, give it up for Barron, the unsung hero, getting his dad booked on
That's so true.
Trump and Rogan.
We are living in the most dystopian version of comedy internet.
It's
the fucking weirdest
bizarre.
thing in the world.
It's bizarre.
That's so strange. It makes me happy to know that this show is still as stupid as it's always been from the beginning, because I see a lot of our podcast pals or people in our sphere that are taking these shows to a level that we don't go to.
Which is what?
Well, they're all having like politicians on.
journalists.
Tim got fucking interviewed by like CNN.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we stay here.
Same with hyenas.
We stay right
Right
here.
here. Yeah.
And I saw that they had Bernie on Schulz's show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? I just think podcasting, comedy podcasting is entering this world of like news or something.
Yeah.
And people are taking it serious. And it's not.
It's so good to have doctors in the house.
Yeah. Like we're on Rogan's show. Just giving out medical advice. Two fucking idiots giving out medical advice.
Does your mother have titty milk still in her breast?
He said it's not correct.
One guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogan talks about it, and he's usually right.
Is he? And there's one guy going,
Yeah. The Rogan.
killer.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overcompensating, right?
jacked up on alpha.
Right. So then
But yeah, me and who else?
Rogan.
Okay.
Who's that?
Joe Rogan.
Joe, he's
Joseph Rogan?
yeah, he's out of Texas.
Oh, he texted us. Got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Got it.
Yeah. You love Austin, don't you?
He's running half the planet out of Texas.
Yeah.
He's got
Like the way that they speak about these things is because it's just like a funny way to just like make sense of things in a funny way of how Rogan talks about things and talks with certain people, and he thinks that he can like dish out medical advice. And there's that funny clip where he's like, "Hey, I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm a moron, right?"
I'm not a doctor.
But then he goes out and starts ranting about certain things that he's not qualified for. And you have to take in consideration that at the end of the day, his profession is being a comedian and also commentating for the UFC.
Any medication, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a fucking moron. And I'm a cage fighting commentator who's a dirty stand-up comedian who just told you I'm drunk most of the time. And I do testosterone and I smoke a lot of weed.
Which is like, don't take him too seriously. He shouldn't be trying to full on defend him about everything and everything he says, because not everything's going to be accurate.
I'm not a respected source of information, even for me. If I say things, I'm always going, check on that, Jamie. I don't know if that's true.
Right.
I do that all the time.
Right.
But I at least try to be honest about what I'm saying.
Or what you feel.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right? He's a goofball. All these guys are goofballs. And they're also showing that other comedians shouldn't be off limits to talk about and make fun of. Or certain comedians, they talk about anything and everything in their specials or in their set. And all of a sudden now talking about your fellow comedians is off limits when you are able to talk about certain subjects in life and certain things in life. But all of a sudden now we kind of talk about your peers or your coworkers or whatever they might be.
got a tight hold on the enlightened meatheads.
Dude, Maron's disdain
It's not disdain. It's reasonable criticism.
Reasonable criticism.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's criticism, it's reasonable. And when they try, or they don't even actually try at all to try to maybe respond to the criticism, they just don't do it. They just come out and say like, that's fucking fucked up, or he shouldn't be doing that, or he's a hater. And then they brought on all these other things, but they can never try to talk about the certain subject that they were being criticized about.
When was the last time you spoke with him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess it would have been at the store. I never talked to him in Austin. I don't go into the club. I don't really think I'm on his radar. So I
Something
don't.
tells me you are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
me
something
too.
tells me you
too.
are.
Also, soon after they published that Marc Maron podcast, they changed the thumbnail and removed him from it. So they must have heard either Joe was upset about it or they were worried Joe would see it and get upset about it. I don't know, but I think Schulz is now trying to get Rogan riled up because he thinks Santino's a snake and he should cut him off. Like, he keeps referencing Santino getting canceled at some point, saying Rogan would have been the guy to have his back. But Rogan's like, I'd still have his back. Santino's my boy. So it seems like Schulz wants Rogan to be done with him, but Rogan just likes him way too much. And it seems like he just wants things to be good between him and Santino. But it's
Joe and Andrew are the two guys, and also Theo, they're the guys that endorsed Trump, and then they got a lot of shit for it. And I think he feels like, Andrew Schulz feels like they're in the trenches together at this point. I don't know. It's just like, it's a weird thing, and it doesn't make sense why Andrew Schulz is campaigning for this.
sounds like Schulz is trying to cause some shit now too. Like, I think Schulz is also referencing Santino talking about Bobby Lee behind his back. He's like, how can I trust the guy that does that talks shit about his co-host? So it sounds like he's referring to Santino. I mean, also his podcast is called Bad Friends, so it's not that surprising. But Schulz, he's trying to get it into Rogan's head that this guy's a snake and he shouldn't trust him. And Schulz was also DMing with random people that were messaging him about it, so he's getting really worked up about this.
So I don't know. My whole feeling about it is just like we know who the pieces of shit are in our industry,
Right.
And like we're aware of it because we've seen them from the jump. Like if I'm sitting down with a comedian, right, and like this is why I don't fuck with a lot of them is like if you immediately start talking shit about your co-host to me when I'm sitting down with you, like I got to start questioning your integrity a little bit. It's like
Right
that's
away.
your boy. Like why
Right
are you
away.
shit talking your boy to me?
Right.
So it's but you saw this. A lot of these guys, man, you saw it. You saw a lot of these guys. So they're doing this like. It's the most.
That's so dumb. Like, oh, you should be a really good friend to him. But I understand also the thing with Andrew Schulz saying like, don't be talking shit about your closest friend. But like, I think he tries to say it in the worst way because obviously now when he talks about Andrew Schulz, when he talks about Andrew Santino, he's already has a very biased view of him, and he's gonna always project him in a negative light. And for him to do that, or for him to kind of like put that out there is to say like he even talks shit about his closest friend, and I would never do that. That's some rat shit or weasel shit. No, dude, like it's more complex and like there's more context to be had in that conversation, because maybe he could be saying like, man, Bobby, he's doing something that's disrespectful. He did this thing that he shouldn't have done, or whatever it might be, and Andrew Santino, Andrew Schulz is being like, you shouldn't be saying that about him, right? Like, it's just dumb. It's a dumb shit to even sort of bring up.
I got to start questioning your integrity a little bit. It's like,
Right
that's
away.
your boy. Like, why
Right
are you
away.
shit talking your boy to me?
Right.
So it's, but you saw this. A lot of these guys, man, you saw it. You saw a lot of these guys. So they're doing this like, it's the most pussy shit. They're like trying to create a little distance, not too much where they can't call you and say, hey, I got a pod,
Oh, you mean
I
Andrew
got a
Santino?
special. Yeah, like not too much where it's like, oh, I'd like to come on your pod, but I'll have a guy who's gonna shit on you for the whole fucking episode and not give you pushback. It's like, and it's not just him. Like I've seen other people do it, and it's just like, dude, you're gonna go through some cancel shit later. All these guys, they're gonna go through something later, and they had a guy that they could call that would bring them on the biggest platform in the world and let them explain themselves, have their back. Like you will do it.
When there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you gonna call? Joe Rogan.
Polar bear smells that man's meat.
Silly shit.
Still do that with Santino.
Of course you would. That's your boy. That's your boy.
I love him.
He's a
He just-
fucking
he
amazing
just-
hang. That was a bad move. In my opinion.
He felt like, look, Marc is irrelevant. He's yelling these things out. Like, let him rant. Everyone's going to know what he's doing. But I don't think everybody on the outside does, because they don't know comedy. They don't know the business.
And it
they
looks
think
like you're co-signing it all. And it looks like that you're okay with this. And I'm fine with you having him on. Like, I would have Maron on, but we're going to go at it. Yeah, you forgive. You know what I mean?
That's some bullshit too. We're gonna go at it. Yeah, and when you push back, like if you do, let's say you do. Most of the time when Andrew Schulz has somebody on and he's does some pushback, it's not that significant. It's not that much. Like, I don't know. He's trying to make a big deal out of things. Like when he had Trump or Joe Rogan had Patel on, or whoever, all these like political guys, barely any pushback. Just gave him a nice deep tissue massage. And now he's trying to be like the guy saying like, well, of course, if I have him on my show, he's gonna get a whole bunch of hard questions. Like, no, you're not, man. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
I mean, you have somebody on your pod who had someone on their pod talking shit. You're better than me.
Yeah.
You're better than me.
You gotta be able to just let things go.
I can't wait for Gavin Newsom to go on Bad Friends. I can't. I want to see I'm distancing myself from the Rogan Sphere tour.
That's
First
hilarious.
stop, Bad Friends.
That's hilarious.
I thought that was corny.
Yeah.
I thought it was corny.
Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know. It is what it is.
Like right now, there's this internet trend. Oh, the fucking manosphere, blah 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 blah. And I think I see guys who you were very generous to, like you lent your platform, your millions of followers, the biggest show on the planet, help them make tons of money, help them really have success, build their own platforms. And now they see like an internet trend about like the manosphere or whatever, and I see guys like trying to create a little separation. I see all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you use this guy to make millions of dollars and get all these fans, and now you see online outrage, and you're like, oh no, that's them, that's not me.
It's not current trend. It's been happening for years now, and when it's ever significant, when the subject arises, then you're gonna get people making videos about it, video summaries or whatever they're called. You know, speaking about a certain thing that they did or they did wrong or they had a weird opinion on. That's always been happening. But I guess maybe now Andrew Schulz is looking at the internet more carefully and he's like pointing it out, which is like, have you just recently just joined the internet? Are you new to the internet? Were you just born today, or were you just born like a couple weeks ago? There's a lot of freaking idiots that think like all of a sudden now everything just started when they just started watching stuff. Like, it's no, man, and it's not that. You're just starting to watch it now and you're getting offended by it or getting annoyed by these things, but it's always been a thing. It's always been something that has been happening. Criticism doesn't go away, you know, unless you're in Saudi Arabia, but like, that's it.
It's like, you had no problem being part of the Avengers. You know what I mean? You had no problem being in the photos. You had no problem before. And now you see a little shit going on. You separate. I feel like that's the moment you double down for your boy. That's the moment you go, I know that person. What people are saying about him isn't real. And you refute that. That's what I would do. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of cowards out there in the world.
And it's just, they're scared.
They're scared. And this is like a time of real attacks.
Yeah, so things are really heating up between these guys. It's getting ugly. Apparently it's a time of real attacks. But the comedy scene, you know, the last line of defense is having a civil war, so that's not good. And it'll be interesting to see how Santino responds to this. But let me know what you guys think about it all, and then make sure you check out my Patreon. I've been covering.
So we have reached the end of this video, guys. Here are my final thoughts about this, is that Andrew Schulz, let's be honest, he's just acting like a Karen. He's trying to defend his Papa Rogan. I don't understand why. I don't understand how this is going to help him out at all. It's only going to help him out with his friendship with Rogan. And I'm sure his fans are not liking this point of view that Schulz all of a sudden has because of certain people criticizing certain things people say, certain fellow comedians say, and because of that, you're gonna tell Rogan to his face that, yeah, Andrew Santino, the guy that you hang out with, you know, and have gone to lunches with, dinners with, and have been personal with, is now betraying you because of da-da-da-da-da.
And then I think that there's like people on another level up, we were saying earlier, that are like seeing these like people talk shit about it, and they're getting concerned that it could like negatively impact them in a way. So they're doing this like it's the most pussy shit. They're like trying to create a little distance, not too much where they can't call you and say, "Hey, I got a pod, I got a."
Oh, you mean Andrew Santino?
Yeah, like not too much where it's like, "Oh, I'd like to come on your pod, but I'll have a guy who's gonna shit on you for the whole fucking episode and not give you pushback." It's like, and it's not just him. Like I've seen other people do it. And
What does that help you for? Like, how does that help you now? Just because you said, you know, you're talking shit about his friend, which is, you know, Andrew Santino and Rogan, I think they're probably more closer. I would think that he is closer to Andrew Schulz is with Rogan, you know, because of all the episodes that they have done, and probably even knows him more because Santino started in LA, right? So he has a more closer bond to Santino. And also, even when Schulz was like talking shit about Santino, he was saying that, like Rogan was saying that, hey, it's just, he's just busting my balls. And at that point, it's just like, you know, he's allowed to say whatever he wants, and we have spoken about it, and there's an understanding of a dialogue that they had, which is like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still your friend, but I still denounce certain things that you do, and I don't like them. And that isn't bad. That isn't a bad thing to do.
I'll do that with Santino.
Of course you would. That's your boy. That's your boy.
I love him.
He's a fucking amazing hang. That was a bad move. That was a bad move, in my opinion.
He felt like, look, Marc is irrelevant. He's yelling these things out. Like, let him rant. Everyone's going to know what he's doing. But I don't think everybody on the outside does, because they don't know comedy. They don't know the business.
And it looks like you're co-signing it all. And it looks like that you're okay with this. And I'm fine with you having him on. Like, I would have Maron on, but we're going to go at it. Yeah, you forgive. You know?
And then like Schulz is trying to tell him to like stop being his friend. You shouldn't do that. He's a rat. He's a, you know, whatever. Like, dude, you're the one that's virtue signaling. You're white knighting for Rogan, and it looks pathetic in my point of view, guys. But that's the end of my my final thoughts, and I'll let you guys go. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you for our next video. And bye bye.